Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krišna, prav lepo pozdravljeni na današnjem nedeljskem programu. V prvi vrsti bi se rad zahvalili vsem, ki so prispevali k skupnemu petju svetega imena, še posebej Badra Matavi Mataji in vsem baktam, ki so jo spremljali na glasbilih. Sedaj pa sledi predavanje in sicer od njegove milosti Manidharja prabhuja. Pa povejmo na hitro nekaj besed o njem. Manidhar prabhu se je ISKCONu pridružil leta 1972 in sicer v Nemčiji, nato pa leta 1974 prejel posvetitev od Šrila Prabhupade. Od pridružitve ISKCONa do leta 1985 je delil knjige, prav tako po Nemčiji, se pravi kar 13 let, nato pa so ga povabili na Švedsko, kjer je postal vodja Sankirtana in tam je tudi postal predsednik templja in sicer v Gothenburgu. Je bil pa potem tudi povabljen na Češko, kjer je sodeloval pri restauraciji Govindas in tudi pomagal pri vzpostavitvi prve skupnosti na Češkem. Zatem pa na veliko potuje, deli Šrila Prabhupadove knjige in pomaga pri BBT-ju. Sedaj pa lahko prisluhnemo današnjemu predavanju.
Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Kupjana Vallabha Jaya Girivarari Jaya Girivarari Kupjana Vallabha Jaya Girivarari Jaya Girivarari Yashodanandana Jaya Brithajana Ranjana Jaya Vrachadana Ranjana Yashodanandana Jaya Vrithajana Ranjana Jaya Vrachadana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachare Jaya Kunja Vihari 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 Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namane Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shinyavari Pashkati Dasatarane. Hare Krishna. Actually, I would like to ask before I start to speak, is somebody first time here? No. I suspect not. Yeah? First time here? Oh, welcome. That's nice. Where are you coming from? Huh? Nepal. Ah. It was a long time ago I was in Kathmandu. Anyway. So, as most of the devotees here present could be easily counted into senior Vaishnava or older devotees, I surely don't have some big news to tell you, but Krishna consciousness has one feature, that the old news are always the news, always great news, because it's ever fresh, Navayovanam, and it's ever new, for those who are truly, sincerely seeking spiritual life. This movement is actually for serious people. However, people connect serious to a serious faces, right? When I look in a history of Western history of intelligentsia, you will find only a very serious, depressing looking people. You know. This is not exactly our line, sorry. Krishna says in the Bhagavad-gita, which is the essence of all our teachings, this process is performed joyfully. And it is actually manifested by joy. But it is a different joy, like people sing sometimes. I can make anybody joyful by tickling him here, and they go, this kind of joy, this is not the joy we mean to say. People collect every Saturday in some bar and some music, and then they go to find joy. And then the music goes, and they cannot get joyful, so they have to drink alcohol. Because that gives you the impression that actually you are becoming joyful, isn't it? Well, next morning you will find out, not so joyful. So this kind of sensual, intoxicating joy is not the joy we actually experience in Krishna consciousness. That joy we find on a spiritual platform is a joy which is coming from inside. It's a joy based on knowledge. Who are we? Where do we come from? And what is our destination? You ask these three questions, people, they will give you all kinds of very strange answers. They will go, who is me? Well, it's me. Yeah, this is the body. And body is changing, so you are changing also, isn't it? I have my passport, my ID card. I'm Slovenian, I'm Croatian. Come on. Not so long time ago, this was Yugoslavia. Huh? We are all Yugoslavians. Well, where are the Yugoslavians now? Now we are Slovenians. Tomorrow, who knows? Who knows what this place will be called? We don't know. So this is changing. But we, as a persons, we are aware of these changes. So that means we are actually by nature permanent, while everything else is changing. From youth to old age, from old age to death. But we experience all these things. I can remember my toys when I was a small boy. But that body is gone. Now I don't have these toys anymore. I don't need them actually. So we are changing. Krishna consciousness is not changing. The more we are realizing it, the more actually we become truly joyful. So Srila Prabhupada spent in his preaching, much of his preaching was spent first by establishing what is this Krishna consciousness. Because people very easily, from a superficial observation, classify others. Actually, you will find very soon that people sing in boxes. And actually, they don't have too many boxes. When I joined this movement in 1972 in Germany, I was immediately classified in a box, the sect box. Nobody even asked what we are doing, or who is this, or what is the meaning of Krishna. No, this is the sect. Just linguistically, where the word sect comes from? From insect. This is something very small. Some minority, strange people. 72 joining this movement in Germany. Or I could tell you stories endlessly. It was almost like becoming a terrorist. This is not German. This is not Christian. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. But nobody asked what it really is. So Srila Prabhupada spent much time by establishing the authority he is speaking on. He made it very clear, this is not my idea. I'm just a messenger. I am just delivering you something which was delivered to me by my teacher. And he got it from his teacher, and he got it from his teacher all the way back to the supreme teacher. His name is God. This is the real Krishna consciousness. Now, we respect any religious path. As a matter of fact, Srila Prabhupada said it's duty of every government to make sure that everybody follows his authorized religious path, which can be, in the name of the biggest religions in the world, classified as Muslim, Christian, and Hindu. You know what Hindu is? I don't know what Hindu is. Nobody knows in India what Hindu is. You ask, what is Hindu? Everybody gives you some other version. I'm worshipping Lord Shiva. I am worshipping Durga. I am worshipping, Ganesh. I'm worshipping Hitler. You know that? When I came to India, people had a picture of Hitler on the altar. Some was going, woo! Because some became very rich during Second World War. So they just thought, this is maybe, when I worship Hitler, I get more rich. That's how simple things can become. This is called worship in a mode of ignorance. This is all exactly described in Bhagavad-gita. Whatever questions you may come up with, we can answer from this book. It's so amazing, this book. If you study this book in a real way, under proper guidance, you will more and more deeply understand that actually all the questions you ever asked, the answers are in this book. This is not a book manifesting some particular belief. No. This is a book which is based on knowledge which is preserved eternally. Right away in a 4th chapter of Bhagavad-gita, just to give an example, Krishna is himself explaining to Arjuna the supreme science. Science? Science and religion usually is not classified as being the same, isn't it? Religion is the belief, and science is the rational thinking. We are thinking rationally. We are researching, observing, concluding. What has this to do with religion? Krishna says the supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. It happens. And you know how it gets lost? That somebody starts to interpret it in his own way. Our perception is corrupted right away from the beginning. People say, one man, he told me on a street like this, and he said, I don't believe what I don't see. I took away his glasses immediately. He was going, give me my glasses back. I said, what do you see now? And believe it or not, these eyes we are using are also glasses, which gives us a very subjective vision. Actually, we don't see through the eyes. We see through our consciousness. That you can very easily realize. If you are hungry, what do you get to see? Somebody comes to Ljubljana, okay? He's hungry. So he sees only restaurants. Oh, let's see what kind of restaurants there. This is his vision. Somebody comes to Ljubljana because he heard there are many nice girls here. So what will he see? Oh, where are the girls? That's an interesting town. Yeah, that's what he will see. So this is very subjective what we are seeing. It's according to our consciousness. So the Krishna consciousness is not based on this. No. It doesn't matter what we see. Actually, Krishna consciousness is recommended to be perceived with Shastra Chakshu, with the eyes of the scriptures. Now, how do you get these eyes? Through the ear, by listening. Yeah? That's the first step. I don't trust what I see. I don't trust even what I think. I mean, thinking is changing all the time, isn't it? In the morning you are thinking something else, and in the evening. Because actually, every minute the thinking can change. So what is the meaning of that? I think, in my opinion. Well, this can change any time. So, Krishna consciousness really is perceived through the ear by listening from the Shastra. Then you start to see things in a quite different way. Like what we see. What do we see now? What do I see now? Well, I see you. And you look differently. Some are looking this way, that way. There's women, there's men, there's children, all the different sizes, different colors maybe. But this doesn't give me any information. I may have a feeling about it. You know, yeah? I see somebody going, I think, oh, he's stupid. No, he's just tired, that's all. This is completely wrong information. You may see, oh, this is a beautiful person, but you don't see how stupid he is. That's you know. And you see sometimes people who are not so beautiful, they are quite interesting. They have an interesting brain. I mean, this is all very subjective, so we don't trust this. The first step in Krishna consciousness is that we see through the scripture. And the first information in the Bhagavad-gita, the very first information is, we are not this body. As soon as we start to see like that, a whole range of perception opens, which is of a completely different kind. The next step is, when we are not the body, who are we? The eternal soul in the body, the person who is living in the body, where all the energy comes from. Oh, that's even more interesting. That means it's not affected by the changes of the body. The soul is always young. It's a good information for the old people. The soul is always young, always fresh, always full of knowledge, and always full of bliss. Now, how come that we don't know this? How come we don't feel it? Because we are covered by this body. And this body, sorry, but it's not forever young. Sorry, no. And it's not full of knowledge, especially not in the morning. And it's not full of bliss. Sorry, it's not. They try to make it bliss by pouring alcohol or whatever. Actually, they try to forget. It's miserable. The bliss is defined in the material world, the state of forgetfulness that this body is miserable. And as a matter of fact, if you try to enjoy this body more and more, you will suffer more and more. That's proven. They pour all kinds of intoxicants and they do all kinds of things, but they ruin the body actually. It's counterproductive because you want to enjoy the body and simultaneously you ruin it. This is medically proven. So where is the common sense in this? So Krishna describes very vividly in the Bhagavad-gita, don't even try. There is a certain amount of pleasure coming to you, your way. Even in a misery condition, you sometimes enjoy. And then misery comes. You have to learn to tolerate that. Yeah, now it's cold, now it's hot. Now I'm happy, now I'm miserable. Now I meet somebody who told me something nice, now I met somebody who insulted me. This will happen automatically, you don't have to do anything. This happens. People always ask, what do I do wrong? Well, the whole fact that we have this body is wrong. Because we are not this body. That's a good news, you know. Yeah. And I tell you, the older you get, the more you enjoy that news. You know, you look in a mirror in the morning and you go, oh, it's so nice, I am not this body. You know. You eat something very tasty. Soon you realize, better I am not this body. Oh, you know. Any attempt to enjoy more while the age is increasing ends in disaster. And it's embarrassing. Old man and just, the hair falls out, they buy new hair, put it on, and then the wind blows this way, and it's just embarrassing. An old man, they try to be young, they buy themselves a bike, brum, 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 brum. They say, now I am young. Behind every strong bike, there's a strong man. And they drive around the ladies, and the ladies go, this old idiot is here again. So it's embarrassing. Why not just go along with that? Beauty, that's something else. There's beauty is in the eyes. The eyes are the mirror of the soul. And I tell you, I can give you examples even of devotees. Sometimes I know some very old devotees. You look in the eyes, you just see beauty. Why? Because they are in Krishna consciousness. You see that nature of the soul being reflected. And they are very peaceful, tolerant. And they are absorbed in service to God. This makes you beautiful. Believe me, Srila Prabhupada writes in his Krishna book, in the beginning, my disciples, young people, hippies, looking for happiness, isn't it? They look very miserable. Now they are dancing like peacocks, proudly, happy. Prabhupada said, we don't like hippies, we like happies. The happy people. And how do we become happy? By abstaining from all these bodily designations. It's all designed. It's you are this and you are that. And they tell you right away from the birth, you are my son, you are my daughter. You are like me. I expanded myself into you. Isn't it? Oh, really? Oh, you ask any older parents, my expansion left me. They are doing now whatever they want. Some of other things got out of control, isn't it? We did it to our parents. My parents never could understand, who is this? They had a plan for me. They had a desire I should become like this. And I left them in shock behind. Next time they saw me, I looked like this. They were like, who did this to you? It looks like this externally. I'm coming from a very radical generation, We just said, it's enough, it's enough. We changed from one day to the other. Just like this. This is the generation I come from. Essentially spoken, the people I knew, all the young people who joined with me even, you had basically just three choices in your life. To become a drug addict, not very attractive. It was all over the place. Everybody was trying something, Even the postman was smoking something, just to try it out. Everybody was exploring a new type of consciousness, their own way. Or you become really activist up to the point of, bordering on terrorism. I didn't know real terrorists, but I knew people who were very, very activistic. Stirring up trouble, demonstrating. Even they didn't know for what. So I never joined that. The drug people, I said, they're just stupid. The activating people were more interesting, but for what? Nobody knew what he's protesting against and what actually he should offer an alternative, right? Nobody had an alternative. So I was going, ugh. And then the third alternative was, you become a devotee. I found it very interesting. I was going, these people are absolute revolutionary, and they have an alternative. Interesting. I was 18 years old, 18 years old people, they tend to be a little bit, Should be actually. Some revolutionary spirit should be. I'm not going to go comment on today, because I didn't never like the old people always explaining how it was better when they were young. All old people say that, right? Nah, it was always bad. But sometimes I'm amazed how little of this innovative, and exploring spirit I can find amongst the young people. They all walk around, nothing in a brain, all in a Google, completely in passive state of consumption. Let's see what's on Facebook. And then you read, what are they doing today in Australia? Well, what has this to do with you? How does the coffee taste in Australia? Big news! I mean, this is so insulting to anybody, to my intelligence, just by seeing this. I go, but is you thinking? Think something. I have to go on Google. It's really becoming sad to see this. How the brain, became quite flattened out by this massive digital consumption propaganda. So Krishna consciousness is very different. We ask people, start to think. Who is me? Can you give me an answer? Where you come from? Where you go to? What is your plan for life? What do you want with your life? Some eating, some sleeping, some working to finance the whole sleeping and eating. And then comes the real thing, isn't it? Some sex life. How long? Come on. This goes away just like this. And then what do you do with the rest? Eating, sleeping. At the end, not much eating, just sleeping. And then you die. This was your life? Kind of boring, isn't it? Oh, no, I like traveling. So what do you do when you travel? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And you watch other people, how they are eating, sleeping, mating, defending. In Australia, in America, they do the same thing everywhere. But we should want to find something new. Krishna consciousness, this is very interesting. You get news from Bhagavad-gita you never heard before. Krishna says things which are, from a material point of view, absolutely shocking. People saying, no. I already have my religion. Thank you. Who said we are religion? Krishna never establishes in Bhagavad-gita any religion. You know what he says at the end of Bhagavad-gita, of this book? I can read you something. Now this is very revolutionary. Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. I showed this shloka to one atheist on the street. He said, I don't believe in any religion. I said, great, wonderful. I have the right book for you. Look, this in the book at the end is stated, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. He said, who? I said, well, this one. Who's this? Well, you have to find out. Come on, get the book. Actually, he bought the book. He said, you mean this is God? And I told him, I will just find out yourself. Get the book. And he was actually upon all varieties of religion. It's unbelievable. I mean, after he should be happy, isn't it? And buy Bhagavad-gita. No. Because in Bhagavad-gita is explained that religious path is respected when it's authorized. First of all, which religious path is authorized? That can be discussed. It's not usually the church dogmatic path. That's not easy, not difficult to illustrate, right? Everything was somewhat adjusted to the liking of the institution, church. And I tell you quite frankly, I didn't join Krishna consciousness to join a church. No, not at all. You know, I like churches. I was an artist. It was a cool place. There was nobody there. So I like to sit in a church because it was kind of peaceful and cool. Nobody was there. And then I started chant Hare Krishna in a church. I said, this is nice acoustic here, you know. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I remember the day where somebody grabbed me from behind like this. He lifted me up and he said, we don't do it here! And he threw me out of the church. That was the local priest. He was going, well, maybe I will not become a Christian. Not good. Nah. So this is Krishna consciousness. Is by nature transcendental. That means beyond and above the level of even material piety. But we don't discourage that. Anybody who tries to regulate his life, following the codes laid down in his particle revealed scripture, we respect that. Well, that is still better like doing nothing, isn't it? And gradually, he may come to the point to inquire more. I am serving God. All religious people go in a church to serve God. Well, you ask him a simple question. Who is God? Simple question. I just want to know who you are serving here. You are worshipping, you are praying. To whom? To Father in heaven. Wonderful, that's great. What is heaven? Oh, these Hare Krishnas are too much. They have so many questions always, you know that. And I joined this movement because I had so many questions. Nobody could answer. They couldn't give me an idea. I'm worshipping God. Who is God? I don't know. Where is he? Up. Yeah, well, here up is the first floor. Is God on the first floor or what? You know, I didn't got any answers, but I wanted to have an answer. And this is a movement for people who are seriously seeking answers to their questions. Who is God? Where is he? What is he saying? How does he look like? Srila Prabhupada humorously always said, oh, you worship God. Can you give me his address? People are always like, well, God doesn't have any address. He said, no. I know address of God. I can give you his address. If you cannot give me, I can give you. And people were just, because actually on the bottom you realize it is very depersonalized. They are not so eager to find out who that person is, the Supreme Person, God. Because that would immediately raise the question, what is my relationship to him? He is great, I'm small. Wonderful. This is exactly what we are saying. Now, what is the duty of the small one to the great? To serve him. But how can you serve him if you don't even know how he looks like? So all this is exactly defined in the Bhagavad-gita. This is exactly defined in Krishna consciousness. We leave no doubts behind. And Srila Prabhupada all the time encouraged us. Do you understand? Think. Here are some questions. Think. And we are like, no, it's great, it's nice. That's nice, yeah, but they can change tomorrow. Today is nice, tomorrow is not nice. According to your feeling. It's not about belief. It's not about religion even. It's not about even what you feel. It's about what is it? Reality. What is it? Therefore you heard it from Krishna himself. He says in the beginning, this eternal science. You know what the symptoms of science are? What scientists are so proud of? We are observing, we are experimenting, observing, and then concluding. That's a scientific process. 3 points. Well, we ask people to do the same. We don't ask people, you have to believe what I say. We say, try to chant Hare Krishna. That's an experiment. And then observe. And then conclude. You know, If you do it seriously in an authorized way, the experiment, then you will also get a serious result. If you just play a little bit with this, maybe for a few minutes, Hare Krishna, this is also good, by the way. But the effect will be not so profound, and you will again go away. People do that. Out of curiosity, they go, well, Hare Krishna, oh, okay. And then they go again. But then there are people who start to practice seriously, Hare Krishna, according to the guidance. And Krishna is amazing. He says in the Bhagavad-gita, before you have a spiritual teacher and you have an authorized guidance, I am already there. You know why? Because I reside in your heart. So Krishna knows he's Anumanta and Upadrashta. He's observing and giving permission. And all the time. Can you imagine? This is one of the very, very unsettling realizations. Even some religious people say, oh, he may be in a heart, but he is not doing anything. Or there is another class of people who say, God is there, but he is far away. He created us and then he forgot us. Now we have to do it ourselves. No. Krishna is in the heart. He is watching. Simply, what do you want? Desire is a very important thing. And we always have some desire. Why did you come here? Why is everybody sitting here? Because there was some desire. Otherwise, there are so many people who don't have that kind of desire. They don't come here. They go elsewhere. So we are all monitored by our desire. Krishna is watching. What do you want? I would like to have some information about spiritual life. I have a good address for you. And then he will guide you. He will arrange things more. That you end up getting what you actually really want. It's a dangerous thing. Be careful what you want. Some people think, I like spiritual life, but not this fanatical Hare Krishna here. They will come up with some regulations and principles and that I'm a freedom-loving man. I want to have a free spiritual life. And Krishna is watching and goes, sure. You want to have it quick and cheap. No problem. There's a place for everybody. Even from my own subjective experience, I can give you addresses where you can practice spiritual life cheaply with zero result. In other words, you can get cheated so nicely. That's what you want. Because if you want, you say, no, I don't want to get cheated. No, you want something cheap. And cheap means cheating. Quick. You can go to some groups. I can give you addresses even. They will go first of all, you give donation. That's important. And then you sit and meditate 5 minutes. And then you can have your cigarette again, back again, or whatever. No problem. There is yogis. They come to such groups to meet a very transcendental yoginis. I joined once a program like this. We were invited by such a yoga group. They thought we will just more be a colorful contribution to their program. I remember that program. It was a candle in the middle. The room was dark. And everybody was instructed to meditate about the candle. Just be quiet. Now there is one problem in Krishna consciousness. If you are a little bit trained, Krishna may give you the ability to see the minds of people, what they really think, what's motivating them. And I tell you quite frankly, it's not a very pleasant gift. Sometimes really, people look quite okay, but they think horrible things, You just go, whoa. It happens to me regularly, I have to admit, and it's not very nice, okay? I don't want to see sometimes what people think, but they think sometimes really far-out things. So we were sitting in this program, and somehow in that silence, me and that was a very wonderful Godbrother Bhakti Bhushana Maharaj, she was sitting there with me, just us two. And in the middle of the silence, they were all meditating. But we could see the minds. He could see it too. In the middle of the silence, he goes and starts to laugh really loudly, completely destroying the atmosphere. And I looked at him like, come on, and he couldn't restrain himself because he just saw men and women sitting, looking at the candles, thinking about sex. That's all what it was to it. So he just started to laugh. He said, this is about yoga. Why do I have to sit in the darkness? Nowadays, I go on internet, get some phone number and get it over with. What's the big deal? You don't have to go to yoga school for this. So this is happening in the name of cheating. We don't do this in Krishna consciousness. This is not for cheating people, really. And still somebody may come and try to do some cheating. It will be exposed. Why? Because Krishna is in the heart. He will expose the cheater. And I saw it over and over happening. Some cheaters are very smart, They speak very nicely and all this. But Krishna is in the heart. And he is watching. Well, maybe he will get better. Because this process is very powerful. It changes people. I saw people to this movement with expectation of something they never got. They came to this movement to become famous. Maybe even rich. It can happen. I don't tell you how, but it can happen. I had a benefit. 1972, I came to this movement. Nobody had anything. So how do you become rich if nobody has anything? How you become famous when everybody is doing the same? And it's basically the same. So what do you want? How to become a famous? If you want to become a devotee, I wanted to be established as a devotee by seeing by other devotees, well then I have to serve Krishna like they did. And then I was recognized. Okay, he's one of us. But that was the only choice I had. I had no other choice. And I like it that way. I have some nostalgic thoughts about this. I said, this was nice. I was very blessed. Nowadays people come to establish movement and they may try to establish themselves in all kinds of ways, but when it's money, fame, all these material motivations, they will be frustrated. Krishna is there, and he will make sure. Maybe you got finally famous. Maybe you have some good economy. You know what you will do? You will die. As simple as that. As one of my preaching godbrothers, I have wonderful godbrothers in between, he said, let's see when we will be switched off. He's quite a radical man. So he knows Krishna is on the switch. And you may think, look, if I made it, I'm famous. Krishna goes, thank you very much for the contribution. And you are switched off. And you will be dead and forgotten. Yeah, time goes on. Yeah. Now you are sitting here listening to Manidhar. I tell you, Manidhar is a very temporary appearance. So there will be no Manidhar. Finished. Actually there are many godbrothers, I think, where are they? But they're finished, they're gone. They died. So we should remember that. This is not scary. We don't want to scare people or depress people. But this is reality. If we would understand that, we would more eagerly focus on the essence. What can we do in the time given to us? What can we do now, right now? Right now in Ljubljana, here, what can we do? And we are always thanking everybody on this point for coming here on Sunday, because you could also go somewhere else, It's not a bad weather out there. Slovenia is a beautiful country, so you could walk the hills up and down like this, and watch the trees, and watch the landscape, which will actually do nothing for you. The trees will not do anything to you, you know. They have their own life. And then you will go, oh, I was on Sunday and I saw the beautiful landscape. It was wonderful. But it's gone, right? It's gone. Now this is a place, when you come to it, you can get some spiritual experience, some spiritual benefits which will not be gone. Krishna says, even a smaller service performed in this way is eternally registered. It will never go in vain. So when you walk out of the door, you are a little bit more spiritually rich, even you don't know it. It's just collecting. Oh, Hare Krishna. Okay. Visually, oh, Krishna, okay. That alone is already a lot, because most people don't do that. So it's very special if somebody is coming and spending his time in this way. That's a very unique thing. Look how many people are sitting here and how many people are living in Ljubljana. You know, not everybody. Even they know we are here, they will not come. So this is so wonderful. We are always grateful for anybody coming and somewhat participating. It's very nice. So this is the benefits of Krishna consciousness. And this is what Krishna is in detail describing in this amazing book, Bhagavad-gita. If you will read no other book in your life as this book, no other book, not even the other books we have. Okay, we have so many books. But just this book. Your life can become totally perfect. And you soon find out, Krishna says himself in the Bhagavad-gita, you need a teacher, a guidance. You will find out naturally. Because you think, yeah, God is in my heart, but I am not so advanced. Sometimes people think, God told me, and then they do something completely stupid. How is that possible? Is God a fool telling you something foolish? No. That was my idea. So how can we distinguish? For this we need spiritual guidance. And that will be naturally coming to everybody who is sincere. If you are serious, you get serious guidance. If you want to get cheated, Krishna will send you a cheater. Simple as that. So we have to decide, what do we want with our life? How much of Krishna consciousness we want to assimilate? But the beauty is, whatever you assimilate in this lifetime will go with you to the future. You will be able to continue again. This is the amazing thing about Krishna consciousness. All right, I am limited by time as usually. So if there is some urgent question, yes.
I have 9 questions.
You can scream at me, that's completely okay.
Really thank you that I can speak.
Wait.
Maybe I will have the problem.
Mike. Mike is coming. Back to
Mike. Thank you that I can speak. Maybe I will have the problem with some English words, then I will ask for the help. But I cannot be quiet anymore because, for example, at the start, when I came inside, you just read some words, what are on the back side of the Bhagavad-gita, and before you just saying that, for example, the people who take the drugs, that they are stupid, the people who dance and they are hippies and they are stupid, and here in the Hare Krishna consciousness, the real guru all the time learning us that what we see in the others, that there is inside of us. So I think that people, because I'm like a neuroscientist and I will become also maybe in the future psychologist, and whatever I go on the street and I see the people who sit there, I ask them why they are there. And usually people who take a lot of drugs, they have really bad experience in their life. And if you start reading the Bhagavad-gita on the back side, you should read the Bhagavad-gita on the first side. What is said, that the only truth from the Bhagavad-gita will understand the people who really asking what is the meaning of their life, who will really suffer in their life. Because today we know also from the scientific view that Hare Krishna methods is one good method that it's really can lead you from the darkness to the lightness. And also it is like this, that you know that in the first part of the Bhagavad-gita it says that Hare Krishna, and Krishna God is the ghost who will have the power of all your sins. And these are the people who are the most bigger believer to the Hare Krishna, because they will need the most of him and his power.
So what was the question? Can somebody summarize the whole thing?
I just wanna.
It was more like a lecture, isn't it?
No, I will just ask, and also on that I wanna ask, because I read the Bhagavad-gita, maybe I don't know yet.
What is the question?
This is the question, because they're said that, for my view, because I see a lot of mistakes. I see a lot of represent how you represent, because you didn't live that kind of the life, and you maybe don't know the truth of the street or the truth of the story. Who really go through the yogic part, and what is the Trataka, what is the Tara school, because this is like a Hindu culture. It's the Hindu culture in the whole you, and what is the Hare Krishna. And
okay.
In the Bhagavad-gita also say.
Can you know the question?
Okay, then just tell me this and explain me this, because you are more advanced and you know more than me, because I'm like just the listener.
That's okay.
Okay, then in the Bhagavad-gita say that the understanding of the Shastras will understand just the people who will go back of all the human sense. And so I think that also if the Swami write the people who eat...
So what would be the question, or let's say the complaint, or whatever it is? Somebody knows?
Yeah.
Huh?
I just want to ask now what you think about this, what you think about your lecture, and what you think that people, that they are the stupid...
I don't. Basically, you ask for my opinion, right?
I understand what she's trying to
You
say.
can summarize it?
I can summarize. She came to the lecture and in the middle, and she got the fragment where you explained how did you feel when you were young, and you said that these druggies, they felt like they are stupid. That was before you came to Hare Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
That was your feeling about this.
Mm-hmm.
So she came right on this part.
No, and I also want to ask why you all the time propagate so negative, like yogic.
Why I what?
Because negative. Why you all the time propaganda is all the time negative when you're speaking about yogis, and when you're speaking about the method, what yogis do.
Do I guess right that you are thinking that my presentation is kind of subjective? Is it correct?
Well, I understood that she came when you explained how did you feel, but you were explaining your part before Hare Krishna consciousness.
How do I feel about this is not important.
And after that you started...
Yeah, how do I feel about all this is not important. I described right away in the beginning that the emotional side can change, but there is something which doesn't change.
Yeah, but I think
So, so sometimes we are viewed as being somewhat arrogant because we don't relate how people feel about this all the time, because we know it will change. So, important is, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad-gita, those who are truly seeking the truth, they stay with the permanent, what is really the facts, and they are abstaining what is temporary. And that immediately makes them looking sometimes like being insensitive or arrogant or whatever. Listen, you don't listen what I feel. You don't listen how I understand things. No, we don't listen. Because this is a product of the mind. The mind, the mental product, that can change. But that doesn't mean that people always say stupid things. Krishna can give intelligence. And that discrimination of intelligence and mental product, that is given to anybody who's tried to sincerely serve Krishna under authorized guidance. Everything what I say, every word, I can bring out Bhagavad-gita, I can bring out testimonies of my spiritual master. This is not my idea. It is not even my idea to sit here to start with. I don't go around and go, okay, where I sit next? No. But this is my service to my spiritual master, to bring over what he said to others in possibly the most accurate way, and that's where the struggle really starts, in a way that people actually can accept that. That's the struggle. And some people don't accept this. They have their own opinion. Fine, I can do nothing about it. But this is not a place for people with their own opinion. This is a place where we broadcast and worship Krishna's opinion. And the opinion of the founder Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. That's all. Sorry, some people may be disappointed. Well, then there's a whole world out there. Please go out and there you will meet other people with their opinion. Everybody has an opinion about everything. Fine. It's a free world. You can go out there. You can even start your own society based on your opinion. You can do that. You can collect followers. They will all go, hey, this is a nice place. I can say what I think.
Yeah, but
but this is, you see? So there is a limit to this. There's a limit even to our patience. Because the time is short, I will end soon. And then we will chant Hare Krishna, as Prabhupada said. Then we will worship Krishna, as Prabhupada said. And then we will worship and take prasadam, as Prabhupada said, which is a very important part of the program. So, so this is what we try to do. Time is limited. Actually, it's very limited. More limited as we think. The clock is ticking. We can never turn it back. Huh?
Can I just
You want to say
ask
something? He wants to say something too.
Then I really want to ask you something.
One question, if I can ask. Today is first day of Purushottama month. Maybe you can say something about Purushottama month.
Huh?
Today is the first day of Purushottama month.
Purushottama Masa. Purushottama month starts today. So could you say anything about Purushottama month?
Purushottama mantra?
Month, Masa, Purushottama Masa. Purushottama month starts today. That is additional month.
Oh, Purushottama month.
Yes.
I am not the right Brahmana for that. Neither I have any quote from Srila Prabhupada for that. So I will a little bit disappoint you, but it's a good question, and if somebody wants to respect it and worship in a month of Purushottama, surely you will find authorized instruction, but I don't feel qualified to answer that. I am not, I'm not that kind of person. But I am quite a simple man who can repeat only what Prabhupada said. He didn't give any lecture about Purushottama months and all this, but he was respecting the Vedic calendar, everything. But I can give you only what I heard from him. I never heard from him anything about this. That's simple. Sometimes I'm a little bit disappointing to Brahminically qualified intellectual devotees who like to collect more information. Fine with me. If it's in a frame of Krishna consciousness, why not? I'm not. But I'm quite a simple man. Please, I don't want to limit your vocal output, but there are other people here and we have a program to follow. I have to follow it too. Okay? So, there is a management here in a temple. They established a program, it's printed out. So I have to, if you want later on talk, yeah, sure, but we have to keep the program intact. There is a service on the altar, we have to respect that. Isn't it? And there is a wonderful priest, Pujari, who is day and night serving these deities. Haribol!
Manidhar prabhu ki,
Jai.
Panchadattva ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.
Adaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminete Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Kiba Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Aratika Shobha Kiba Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Aratika Shobha Janavi Tatamane Jagamana Lobha Janavi Tatamane Jagamana Lobha Dakine Nitai Chan Bhame Gadadara Nitai Chan Vame Gadadhara Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasa Chhatradhara Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasa Chhatradhara Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasa Chhatradhara Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasiyache Gaurachan Ratna Simhasane Vasiyache Gaurachan Ratna Simhasane Vasiyache Gaurachan Ratna Simhasane Vasiyache Gaurachan করে না ব্রহ্ম আদি দেবগানে নারাহারি আদি করে চামরা ধুলায় নারাহারি আদি করে চামরা ধুলায় संजयामो कुंदवासु घोषादिगाय संजयामो कुंदवासु घोषादिगाय शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल मधुर मृदंग बाजे परम रसाल मधुर मृदंग बाजे बाजे परम रसाल शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे हरे बोल हरे बोल निताय गौरा हरे बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल बहु कोटि चंद्र जिने वदन उज्ज्वल बहु कोटि Chandrajini Vadana Ujjvala Gala Deshi Banamala Gori Jalamala Gala Deshi Banamala Gori Jalamala Shiva Sukha Narada Prema Kadagada Shiva Sukha Shiva Sukha Narada Prema Kadagada Bhakati Vinoda Dheke Gora Rasampada 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 Shiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chandi Dhartika Shobha Shiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chandi Dhartika Shobha Janare Tattavane Jagamana Lobha Janare Tattavane Jagamana Lobha Gaurangira Ratik Shobha Jaga Jana Mana Lobha Gaurangira Ratik Shobha Jaga Jana Mana Lobha Jaga Jana Mana Lobha Jaga Jana Mana Lobha Hare Bo Nitai Gaura Hare Bo Nitai Gaura Hare Bo Hare Bo Hare Bo Nitai Gaura Hare Bo Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,